Candia with Sew It and Show It Workshops. Today we're making a sewing machine organizer. A sewing machine organizer is the little mat that sits under the sewing machine, and it has little pockets to hold your scissors, your seam ripper, and so forth. To complete this project, we'll use straight pins, a rotary cutter, a pair of scissors, a clear ruler. Now you can also use a yardstick. So I have both, but here's my clear ruler and here's my yardstick. Either one will work. We'll be using a non-slip material, 2 coordinating fabrics, a quilted fabric as the filler. Now, generally, the quilted fabric is the batting, but today I have a scrap quilt fabric, so that's what I'm going to be using. So this is what I'll be using as my filler, but generally we will replace that with batting. Let's get started. First, you want to press your top fabric, so take it to the iron and press out all of the wrinkles. Next, you want to cut your top fabric 20 inches wide by 16 inches long. So 20 inches wide by 16 inches long. Next, you want to take your batting, and in this case I'm using a quilted fabric, but you want to take your batting and you want to measure your batting 19 inches wide by 15 inches long. So the first one was 20 by 16, but your batting or your quilting fabric in this case is going to measure an inch shorter than your last. So it's going to be 19 inches wide by 15 inches long. And so we have all 3 fabrics cut out, and here's what you should have. We should have your top fabric, and if you remember, it should be measured 20 inches wide by 16 inches long, okay? The first thing that we want to do is make sure that it is wrong side up, and that's when the wrong side is exposed to your eye. The next thing is I'm going to take a light adhesive spray and just lightly spray it, and then I'm going to take the quilted or the batting and place it directly in the center of your top fabric. Now, the measurements that I gave you before is incorrect. I told you that it should be measured 19 inches by 15 inches. That is wrong. It should be measured 18 inches by 15 inches. So if you've measured it 19 inches wide, you want to go over and just cut an inch off, because the correct measurements should be 18 inches by 15 inches. Once you've got that done, then you want to center it in your top fabric wrong side. So remember, the right side is down and the wrong side is exposed. Center it, and then your non-slip, you want to lightly spray this and then place it at the raw edge of the quilted fabric. Your non-slip material should be measured 18 inches wide by 9 inches high, okay? And once you've got that done, you want to place it at the raw edge of the quilted fabric, not the top fabric. You want to place it once again at the raw edge of the quilted or your batting fabric. Once you've got that all layered, then you want to pin it. So I'm going to pin it all the way around only to the to the non-slip material. So I'm not going to go all the way around here, because right now we're just focusing on securing the non-slip fabric. After you've pinned your non-slip fabric into place, you want to take it to your sewing machine and stitch a straight line all the way around where the non-slip fabric is. For extra security, I stitched straight lines a few inches apart from each other where the non-slip fabric is. Next, you want to go to your second coordinating fabric. Remember this at the beginning. You want to measure this 20 inches wide by 13 inches long, okay? So once again, that's 20 inches wide by 13 inches long. Then you want to fold it. And because this is a thicker fabric, because this is a quilted fabric as well, what I'm going to do is stitch a top stitch alongside here. So just one straight stitch alongside the fold. So you see that top stitch that we did gives it a nice finished look. Then you want to turn your top fabric with your non-slip and your batting right side up. And then you want to place your fold at the bottom of your right side fabric. And then you want to pin it in place. And this could be every few inches because you're now creating your pockets. And keep in mind of what you will be putting in the pockets. You'll be putting scissors and a seam ripper. You won't use something like this, even though it could fit. But this really shouldn't be at the sewing machine. But you might want to place a pair of scissors there. So you want to place it just a few inches, and you want to make them random sizes like this. And this pocket is about 1.5 inches, whereas this pocket is about 2.5 inches wide. And then you want to just stitch straight lines down. Okay, so we're almost done. Alright, so I just wanted you to take a closer look at the pockets. You see how they are nicely finished. And because we folded them over, it is finished in the inside and is finished on the outside. And because I used a quilted fabric, it just adds another whimsical touch to it. So you notice the lines, we made the pockets. Now, the next thing we're going to do is turn the whole piece over, okay? And now we're going to add a finishing touch. And I'm going to start, I just turned it around away from the pocket. I wanted to start where the non-slip surface is. What you want to do is, remember we left 1 inch off. You want to fold it 1/2 inch in and then fold it again over, okay? And then we're going to pin in place. So once again, fold it 1/2 inch in and then fold it over and then pin in place. Okay, so we're going to do that all the way around. So now we're taking it to the sewing machine, and I'm going to sew it with the wrong side up because I'm using the same color bobbin. Okay, so what's going to happen is the top stitch is going to be red. I'm going to be using a red thread and a red bobbin. And there, we've made a sewing machine organizer. So if you notice, I have all of my little things, and I also have my pin cushion that's attached with a clothesline pin. And it works out very well, and it's very secure. You know, the sewing machine isn't sliding and slipping all over the place because we did use that non-slip material. And for a full list of supplies and other workshop tutorials, you can log on to sewitandshow.com. And if you have any suggestions for future tutorials, you can send me an email, excuse me, an email at candia@candiahainsworth.com or workshops@candiahainsworth.com. And there is a contact form on the website for you to send me your suggestion directly. So once again, thank you so much for joining in for the Sew It and Show It workshops, and until then, I'll see you next time.